Hello and welcome back to Princess Evangile. Hey! I couldn't exactly yell at this time of the morning, so I called to them softly. And there was no response though. They must have been busy with their work. Man. There was no one in the hall at the moment, but someone could come out at any minute. If they found me like this, well, they'd definitely think I was a pervert. They already thought I was inclined to commit a crime. I decided it would be best to go outside. This time there was likely to be no one outside the dorms. Alternatively, you could just sit at your own bedroom door, put your back to it, lean against it, and look sulky. That is the best way to not look like you're doing anything dodgy. So cold. Goosebumps appeared on my arms as I trembled. I couldn't exactly just stand there, so I decided to have a walk around. But really, why do I have to walk around dressed like this? I hoped I would get the call soon. I'd been so poor I'd never had a cell phone before, but the school had given me one. There hadn't been any special consideration. All the students received the same one. Good school, then. It keeps us under control, of course. That's what Raisan had said when I asked her about how to use it. It's actually more like a walkie-talkie. Can you believe it? A walkie-talkie? How? It's easy to call someone else on the same type of cell phone, but if you want to call anyone on the outside, you have to go through the school. That sounds frustrating. A bit like phones in the old days. Well, it used to be that you can only call pre-approved numbers, like your family and such. It's the same for email, if you want to contact anyone on the outside. Anyway, the rules make it really hard to contact outsiders. We were also forbidden from leaving school grounds, and this was really strict about contact with the outer world. I've heard of hothouse flowers that sheltered children before, but this place was really like another world. On the other hand, the rules within the school didn't seem very strict. Maybe because everyone behaved well even without the rules. In particular, dorm life was welcoming. They didn't even have an official lights out. According to Sister Mishima, the fact that mealtimes were all decided in advance lent a natural rhythm to daily life. Sounds pretty inconvenient. Raisan gave a slight shrug. That's no hindrance to the fillet dinner Venices. Everyone we know is already here on campus. Of course that isn't true for you, Miss Air-san. I know it's bothersome, but please try to bear it. Actually, I don't think there's anyone I want to contact on the outside either. Really? Not even your She shut her mouth quickly as she realised her mistake, and smiled apologetically. Well, I mean, friends and such. Did you have a girlfriend, perhaps? I shook my head silently. Since we left town a year ago, I hadn't even tried to make friends. I didn't make new friends, and hadn't tried to contact my old ones from Etsuku Auxiliary. I didn't want to risk getting them involved in our loan issues. I hadn't even kept in touch with my childhood friend. I have my room and board taken care of for now at least, but I still have to do something about that loan. I thought things over as I wandered down the path. The sweet smell enveloped me from all sides. Oh crap. I thought I was alone, but there was a girl just ahead. What the hell is that, and why is it wearing a hat? Though she seemed to be playing with some kind of animal and hadn't noticed me yet. An animal? Do they keep animals at Venices? An animal care club, perhaps? And what is that creature? I should have run the other way, but I found myself curious about what was going on. I've never seen anything like it. It seemed like an unusual species, a stoat perhaps, but well, what intrigued me even more was... what a cute little hat. It just suited the creature so well. I wasn't any sort of animal lover, but, well, I couldn't help but find it charming. I quietly drew closer, and there was plenty of cover, so I felt confident being a bit bold. Oh, Pinterbell, will you eat bread, pan, tebaru? Goo! Oh dear, when will I finally get you to say tabaru? Goo! Well, you will eat it today if you don't, and well, you will eat it today. If you don't, I won't give you a croissant. Coo! Coo! Just kidding. I made this croissant just for you, Pantabelle. Coo! Pantabelle let out a joyous coo and began munching down on the croissant. The girl from the Animal Care Club looked down at him with eyes full of love. The pet was cute, but well, she was spectacularly beautiful too. Coo! Coo! Is it good? Coo! What a smart creature. Plus it really did look good. It occurred to me that I hadn't eaten anything since I started my walk. My stomach suddenly let out a growl as I watched. Ah! Coo? What is it, Pantabelle? Coo! Coo! I hear you. You'd like to come to a roll tomorrow? Coo! Coo! Thankfully, the girl didn't seem to have heard it, and this time I ducked my head down and prepared to take my leave. Snap! Huh? Severed head? No? She seemed genuinely terrified, so I called out immediately to correct her. I even stood up. Oh crap. A cold sweat poured down my sides. And the girl looked at me blankly, and I cast a subtle glance down to my lower half. Oh, thank goodness. Even though it stood up, my lower half was still just about covered. Who? You're... that is, I'm not here to cause any harm. She might not think that if she saw my lower half, though. I know that. Huh? You introduced yourself at the opening ceremony, after all. Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. A pleasure to meet you. I'm Here we go. Kamiyagi? Kamiyagi? Yeah, let's go with Kamiyagi. I'm Kamiyagi Ruiko? Yeah. I'm Kamiyagi Ruiko in Class 2B. Ah, nice to meet you. I'm in Class 2C. She bowed to me politely, and I quickly did the same. It was really a bit awkward with the obstacle in the way. I should have come out, but, well, that wasn't exactly possible. And this is Pantabelle. Coo! Pantabelle raised a forelimb in greeting. He really was smart. So, Pantabelle is his name? It suits him. Yes. Is Pantabelle a stoat? A stoat? Isn't he? I mean, he looks a bit like one. Oh, you're asking about the species. Well, the truth is, I don't know myself. Oh, really? I never really thought about it. I see. Ruiko-san seems to be the laid-back type. Pantabelle is Pantabelle, that's all. Isn't that right, Pantabelle? Coo! But I didn't know they kept animals here at Venice's. Do you go to a club for that or something? No, it isn't that. We don't have an animal care club. Truth is, I found Pantabelle up above when he was sick. Above? Venice's were built onto a mountainside, so she must have meant she found him higher up the mountain. I believe he belonged to someone in town who abandoned him. He even had a collar. So I decided to nurse him back to health. We've been inseparable ever since. Wow. So that was why she didn't know what he was. You seem like a kind person, Ruiko-san. Oh no. But Pantabelle is an unusual name. How did you pick it? He just loves bread, or pan. So I named him Pantabelle. Pantabelle, I get it. Coo! I remember their exchange when I first saw them, and Ruiko-san had asked him to say Tobiro or something? Maybe Panku would be more appropriate. Pantabelle says Cuckoo after all. You aren't the first person to say that. What? She was only staring out into space. The truth is, everyone calls it Panku. They say it's just too long and such. I see. So I proposed Pantabelle as an abbreviation of the name. Not really that much of an abbreviation. But it never caught on. It's so upsetting. I see. So, yes. You will call him Pantabelle, won't you, Messiah-san? Sure, of course, if you want me to, Ruiko-san. I'm so glad. She looked at me, eyes shining, and picked up the basket from the table. The truth was, I'd been thinking about that bread the entire time. Would you take a baguette as a token of my thanks? Yes, absolutely. Ah. I stepped out without thinking. and only then realised my mistake. Despite the cold, I was sweating profusely and, well, I felt like I was covered in dew. Were you out jogging? It's a wonderful stay in shape. What? Am I wrong? We're in a t-shirt and running shorts after all. Apparently Ryuko-san had never seen boxers before. Well, that's a charm school for you. But I was safe at least. No, you got me actually. I like working up a sweat early in the morning. I agree with the practice. I'm a poor athlete myself. Must be exhausted after such a long workout. Here, take one. Thanks. Her innocent smile made me feel a little guilty about my lie. But there was no way around it. It's not like I was walking around dressed like this because I wanted to. I took one of the rolls and it was still slightly warm. Did you just bake this? Yes, I'm in the bread baking club. I was doing some early morning training of my own. Bread baking? Genesis has clubs like that? Yeah, it was originally affiliated with a mission after all. What does that have to do with it? Well, bread is the Eucharist in Holy Mass. Oh, just a minute. I received notification of an email and checked it. Mitsuki had given me permission to return. Oh, thank goodness. What is it? Oh, nothing. I was thinking about getting back to my room, actually. I felt even colder now, maybe because of the sweat. Then I'll accompany you. I'm returning as well. Sure. As we walked, she explained how bread was in the Eucharist in Holy Mass. At the Last Supper, Jesus gave the bread to his disciples, saying that it was his body. That's where the ritual came from. I'm trying to remember which comedy sketches it were they're talking about that. And oh yeah, it's Eddie Izzard's stand-up routine where just comment about... hang on a minute. So you said, take this wine, it is my blood, take this... You do realise that's vampirism and cannibalism and day one of your new religion, right? Seriously, Jesus, what were you smoking that day? I don't know. I apologise if anybody is religious and is offended by that, but let's face it, it's a bit weird. Admittedly, a lot of religions tend to have some very odd bits. The joys of being agnostic. I get to look at religions and say, well, isn't that a bit strange? Without being the kind of over-the-top, you are all wrong that a lot of atheists are. Let's face it, I do have a friend of mine who is basically the atheist equivalent of a Jehovah's Witness. He does love to find people who are religious and then argue with them about it. It's really annoying. Let's face it, I just have a very live and let live attitude. Does your religion hurt me? If yes, stop doing it. If no, none of my business. So wow, you guys at St. Venice's really know a lot about... Sorry, you guys at Venice's really know a lot about this stuff. Oh, we learn it in our classes. There's quite a few who call Jesus Christ as well. What does that mean? Well, Christ is not actually a name, it means Saviour. To call Jesus Christ is a profession of one's faith. Wow, I didn't know that. Ruiko-san had called him Jesus before. As we walked, I took a big bite of bread. This is good. I haven't eaten much in the way of French bread before. What is it? I've never seen someone eat while walking before. Oh. Is that bad manners? No, it isn't. It's just quite unusual. I guess it is. This may be a strange question, but... Yeah? Due to certain personal circumstances, I would like to learn more about men. Oh? So... I believe given this opportunity, I would like to know more about you, Masaya-san. Right. This might seem strange too, but... Well, the only way I'll make it past the vote at the end of the term is if you all get to know me, so... I'd be happy to tell you anything you'd like to know, Ruiko-san. Good. Then, if I may... Ruiko-san lowered her gaze towards my groinal region. What are you looking at? Okay, left field question. I would like to know the brand of your running shorts. Is that alright? I think they're Uniqlo. Uniqlo? I'll remember it. I suppose this is where we part ways. Yeah, thanks for the bread. Not at all. Cool. Phantom waved to me. Seriously smart animal. Personal circumstances, huh? Just what should I do? Still, having a beauty like Ruiku-san wanted to know more about me, well, it wasn't exactly a bad feeling. Oh, so cold. I was running back to my room to take a nice warm shower. But on the way there... Yeah! The bell for breakfast rang. Oh crap. I picked up speed, and I turned the last corner. My door was in sight. I went for the last dash. And just then the doors opened. Morning! Morning! The girls came out exchanging mild pleasantries, and amidst a group of smartly dressed girls, a single man in a shirt and boxers stood out immediately. Yeah! Whoa! What is he wearing? Oh no, it can't be! Sorry. Oh no, it can't be. Molester! Idiot! Pervert! Ne'er-do-well! Ah! This is why I hate men! Ow, ow, ow! What's going on? What? One by one the doors opened and the hallway devolved into chaos. This was quickly getting out of control. They'd started throwing things. Didn't hurt much, but... Oh, here I'm supposed to be getting off on the right foot with them. Instead I was getting off on the worst possible foot. Which is exactly why those two did it, let's be honest. Take this! Indecent exposure! Peddling pornography! What the hell? Seriously? And then they started accusing me of crimes that I'd never committed. Just as the attacks began to escalate, a calm voice rang through the hall. Stop this at once! And the attacks stopped immediately. There is an explanation for all of this. Stop it now, everyone! Oh, thank goodness. Why is Latuja helping him? What could the reason be? I am sorry, Masaya-kun. Look, he actually made Grandfather apologize to him. That man! Blaming it on me. Again. In a moment's thoughtlessness, I forced him from his room in his underwear. You were certainly fixated on your task. Was that sarcasm? What? I guess you were serious. Good character. Wait, what? Nothing. I'm sorry we chased you out of your room so early. Mitsuko whispered the words, gaze averted, and then pushed my neatly folded pajamas into my hands. Our search didn't reveal anything untoward, and it was quite a relief to me. Right, I'm glad to hear that. Well then, salutations. Marika-san clapped her hands and addressed the others. Now everyone, get along to your rooms, or to the dining hall. Masaya-kun hasn't done anything wrong this time. The student council president's influence was formidable, and the students immediately dispersed. During the break between classes, Rai-san was quick to scold me. Oh, for heaven's sake, what were you thinking? Sorry. Everyone's talking about it. You weren't there, so you didn't see what it was like in the dining hall this morning. The baguette had filled me up, so I'd ended up skipping breakfast. The whole school's in an uproar. It's really quite incredible. Right. Sorry. Well, we're lucky that Sombra Scanner wasn't there at least. If this had ended up in the paper, I don't know what I would do. Sombra Scanner? Oh, the News Club's ace reporter. It means Scanner of the Dark. Oh, Tami-san. Her title suggested that little got by her. But what on earth happened? The information's so muddled, I don't know what to think. I'm sure you're not really a molester, but... yeah, that's really not what happened. I've heard people talking about Marika-sama and Mitsuku-san as well. Did they have some part in this? Yeah! The classroom went quiet as people seemed to be listening in, and I explained what had happened. Really? What a curious story. A little, but... well, the student council president is concerned about my... behaviour, I guess. I mean, that's the feeling I got. She saved me in the end, though. Showed up, resolved the whole misunderstanding. You are truly naive. What do you mean? Nothing. Let's face it, it's blatantly obvious. Yo, she did that on purpose so we'd get a dodgy rep, but at the same time she preserved her own rep by sticking up for us. Very elegantly done, politically speaking. Yo, because that's going to knock my credibility with a lot of people who just won't believe her explanation, but at the same time it makes her look good for, doing the right thing. Very tricky. Man, again. What a bummer. During our next break period, Tammy-san came to visit. She stood by my desk, lamenting. I can't believe I missed out on that scoop. Oh, I'm worthy of the title of Sombre Scanner. It wasn't much of a scoop, you know. The truth of the matter was really mundane. Even if there is only one truth, the facts can come out different in writing. That's what it means to be a reporter. I'm sorry, that's what it means to be a propagandist, taking the truth and twisting it to your own views. Ah, boy. Oh, obviously I wouldn't make things up, and I don't mean to make you look bad unnecessarily. Either, Masaya-san. Neutral and impartial, fair and balanced. That's the motto of La Mode Quinta... Oh, come on, guys, seriously. La Mode Quintadine... Oh, God, this is going to get embarrassing. Is that the name of the club's newspaper? Yep. Means the fashion of the day, or, well, something like that. If you don't believe me, take a look at today's paper. It writes about you with no nonsense, with no rose-colored glasses. That's the interview from yesterday. Oh, I'd like to see it too. It was the text of my interview, along with some comments from Rice-san and others. It really was impartially written. I could find nothing to complain about. My concern, though, was the matter of my family history. I'd admit it to myself. There was no use stressing about it now. But as Rice-san had said, I was not my father. Even if it made a bad first impression, as long as I put on a good face, they'd forget about it eventually. I had to keep my faith in that. Okay. We had lunch at noon, and then Rice-san and I headed for Maria Hall. We'd gone there after class the day before as well, and as for what we were doing there, well, it was the vote for Society Leader. Where are we? This is Maria Hall. It houses a student council, and the White Lily and Red Rose Society rooms. Wow. I mean, the atmosphere is... it's totally different from the dorms in the campus building. I suppose it is. Maria Hall is one of the older buildings. So what happens now? As I said, we'll vote to choose the leader of the White Lily Society. Ah. Rice-san's gaze fell upon her wristwatch. Voting ends at 6 o'clock. I'm sorry, Masaya-san, but can you wait with me until it ends? Sure. We passed through the doors and checked to see if anyone had come. Oh, I don't know if any of them will come after all. They'd all returned their arm ribbons to Rice-san, and those ribbons were proof of their participation in an association. They were a bit like membership badges. Returning them meant... What happens if they don't show? I'll win by default. This is the White Lily Society room. It looks identical to the Red Rose room, so you'll need to be careful when you come here. The room was deserted. Smack in the centre of the room was a voting box. It looked like the ones used in real elections. Only the teachers have the key to this box. It's very official, don't you think? Yeah, it really is. The prevalence of votes is one of Venice's defining characteristics. That's why the voting boxes are so grand. Well, I'm going to vote. She wrote her name on one of the papers on the table, and then slipped it into the voting box. The voting itself was effectively finished, but we still decided to stay until 6 o'clock. And in the end, not a single person came. Since we happen to be here, let's eat in the courtyard. I'll make tea. Thanks. I didn't even know you had a courtyard here. Yesterday we'd gone straight to the White Lily Society room, so I didn't really know the building's layout yet. Maria Hall's shaped like a pentagon. Rice-san drew a diagram in the air. On either side of the entrance are the White Lily and Red Rose Society rooms. That's why I warned you to be careful yesterday. You need to remember if it's the right or left room. The room we entered yesterday, was it the right or the left? I don't actually remember. The left. Here's how I can remember. The word Lily starts with an L, so which side is Lily on? The left. Right. And Rose is on the right. Just remember the first letter of the words. Gotcha. I understand. There's also the storage room, the lounge, and the student council room, though you won't have much business there. Wow. Seems like a really nice place. It gets so much sun. Yes. The weather's so nice. I thought we'd spend the day in Maria Hall. There were a few tables around, giving the courtyard a very relaxing aura. And Rice-san moved to the kitchenette while I waited at the table. Just then, I caught a glimpse of someone through the window. They were passing through the hall facing me, so I waved. Salutations. Are you by yourself, Masaya-sama? No, I'm here with Rai-san. She's in the kitchenette right now. I see. That is ideal. What? She didn't actually answer me, but turned her face away and closed her eyes. I took a surreptitious glance at her profile. Ritsuko-chan is really beautiful too. So perhaps because she did not wear her emotions openly, she had a beauty kind of like a porcelain doll. Venice's really is a school filled with beauties. When I thought about it, that was maybe the thing that made me most glad to be here. Oh, Ritsuko, would you like some tea as well? No, thank you, Rai-sama. Congratulations on winning the leadership of the White Lily Society. Why such formality? The truth is... She hesitated for a moment, turning her eyes to the entrance. There was another student coming towards us. Ritsuko, have you made the traditional greeting? I'm about to. Mitsuko-san? Mitsuki stood off to the side, as if to make it clear that she would not be joining us for tea. Traditional greeting? Well, it did seem a bit overly formal, but... I have been entrusted with the leadership of the Red Rose Society. What? Huh? Rai-san had said that the association decided their leaders during third term. The new head of the Red Rose would be Mitsuki-san. How did this happen? There's no rule stating that a first year can't be society president. That isn't what I'm saying, Mitsuki-san. I thought you were going to be society leader. Our plans changed. What? What's going on? You really don't know, Soleil de Cole? Masaya-san, under normal circumstances no one would associate you here, and you would not be welcome anywhere you go. Huh? I was a little shocked at being attacked that way so suddenly. The only reason you're allowed to stay at Venice's is because it was Rice-san who brought you here. That is how much people respect her. Well, that's right. The person who brought me here was a VIP, so, well, I was riding her coattails in a way. That's a foolish way to judge people. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Everyone should interact with him, decide for themselves. Not everyone can conduct themselves the way you do, you know. Her incredibly confrontational air even caused Ritsuko to gasp. I cannot ignore your influence. The only person above you in that regard would be Latuta Sua. You have changed, Mitsuku-san. You would never have said something like that before. That is neither here nor there. As if ashamed of the anger she'd shown, she turned her eyes away. Well then, what will you discuss? Oh, that's right, Ritsuko's inauguration. The association this year bear an unprecedented responsibility, as the chairwoman said the other day. The grand vote cannot merely be a popularity contest. The student body must make the proper decision for the future of the school. In that case, we decided it would be best to propose a more suitable leader. Belle Epine is certainly a title to compete with. To compete, even with Soleil de Cole, don't you think? Hang on a second. If she's a first year, how the hell does she already have a nickname and enough political clout to get this thing? Or is this one of those things where there's kind of... Or is she just a first year to this middle section and everyone already knew her from the lower section and... Oh god, who cares? Nope, none of us can answer her. Even Ritsuko-chan cast her eyes downward, as if merely enduring it. That is why I withdrew myself from the running. That's... What of it? I wouldn't have your pity if that's what you're offering. I chose this of my own free will. But there is one thing I wish to say, to Rai-san and to you. She pointed her finger sharply at my face. I am firmly against accepting boys here. This is a joke. Venice is a girls' school. It's a ridiculous suggestion. Well... Mitsuku-san's words were entirely natural. Well, that's all I had to say. Excuse me. If I may be perfectly honest. What is it? What is it? Mitsuki-sama is correct. There is no restriction on society leaders by grade level. However, there are customs and unwritten rules. I believe it is without precedent. Yet they elected me. You have always been a stickler for rules that way, Ritsuko. Even setting my age aside, I feel terribly unworthy of the position. What? Ritsuko-chan, you're so beautiful. What did you just say? Oh boy, they were both glaring at me. Yeah, because open mouth, insert foot. Ah, why are the main characters of these games always complete and utter morons? Right, that seems like a reasonable enough point to end this part, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.